So that's actually what it is. It is for making hard-boiled eggs. Sounds about right. So you put the egg here, and then this one crushes it, and then you get finely sliced hard-boiled eggs. Unfortunately, in the Soviet Union, they don't make them straight, so I don't know. Hello and welcome to this full Armoury showcase of the new Soviet 71Y Zapador something tank division with the Soviet Top Gun School. If you want to see the other Armoury showcase from this DLC, the West German VTK-42, the NATO ones are generally more popular, do check the links in the description. Gameplay should also be in the description as and when it's ready. Channel joiners get it early. First, I'm going to read out all the words. Some people find these cryptic scribbles very, very offensive. Grok, is this real? You can just check the timestamps in the description to skip to the actual units. So, gameplay, a Soviet mobilization division with instructor units. This second-line armoured battle group deploys a range of reservist units. These are backed in the field by plentiful tanks, heavy APCs, and numerous anti-air units. Units. History, the Soviet Army's 71Y Zapaznaya Tankovaya Divizia, or the 71st Reservist Tank Division, was based far deep in the Russian interior in the important military-industrial city of Omsk, or Irmsk, or whatever. Sorry, no, I'm not German. Apart from being a centre of armaments production, including the Omsk Transmash Tank Factory. Okay, bro. Oh, these communists and their genders. And Design Bureau, the Siberian town also contained the Higher Tank Engineering School and Higher Combined Arms Command School. If World War III would continue long enough, these institutions would form the cadre of a second echelon mobilization division composed of reservists and recruits. The formation would be rounded out by storage depots and several pieces of equipment being tested or evaluated. Sounds interesting. The 71Y Zapaznia Tankovaya, whatever man, Divizia scrapes the barrel with a number of Prizivniki, or reservisti units, from infantry to tanks and weapon teams, led into battle by the more experienced instructory squads with the instructor trait. So that's kind of the whole point of the DLC. It's called Schools Out because they released it during the summer holidays. Wow, so funny. But the idea is that it's the same for the West Germans as well. It's a bunch of reservists with going up with guys who have the instructor trait. This division was originally pitched as part of a Nemesis where they said, oh, but this one gets the instructor trait, guys, and none of the other ones, oh, they're not going to get it. And people just didn't vote for it anyway because it was slop. And and they voted for 1st US Cavalry instead, including myself, which was very cool. And so then a bunch of divisions got instructor squads anyway, but the whole vibe behind this DLC was that it was supposed to be the instructor DLC with these instructor guys, which we'll get to, right? The same is seen with the division's armoured firepower, consisting of instructory variants of the T-64A, T-72A, and the state-of-the-art T-72B OBR-89s. To deploy the troops under fire, the heavy BTR-55 and regular BTR-50 PUM-1 APCs can be employed, while the division's anti-air defences are formed by BTS-4A, ZU-23-2, and ZIL-135M S-60 Spags, plus the S125 Never Towed Sam. Oh, isn't that the one that we literally just got in the other DLC? Older Su-24 strike aircraft takes to the skies with a variety of close-air support payloads. So there you go, his mustachio man. Let's get into it. But first, a word from our sponsor, me, the generous channel joiner, generously joining the channel. Well, no, they are the sponsors, I suppose, not me. It's just funnier if you... They get the names on the screen, they get the videos early, they get this video early, they get exclusive videos, right? There'll be some gameplay in the description, hopefully they'll get that early. They will get it early, it just might not be in the description when you're currently... Anyway, they're the reason this channel exists, they're the reason I can do what I do. Without them, without all of you, really, this channel wouldn't exist, so thank you. But yes, 80% of channel revenue comes from the generous channel joiners, so... something to consider if you like these videos. They wouldn't exist without these people, so please be nice to them. Please don't call them nasty names. So yeah, logistics tab. First of all, 40-point CV. It's a new CV, but there's very many CVs which are 40-point, 2 per card CVs with this kind of speed. It's got 2 armor. They're very nice to have because this is 3 per card and 80 points, and this is 2 per card and 40 points. So the idea is that you buy 2 of these at the start instead of 1 of these, and because this is basically an infantry and an IFV. There's only a few more points than 80, right? So you're saving quite a bit at the start of the game by buying 2 of these instead of 2 of these, for example. So it's always nice to have them. The Logi tab is not as good as VTK42's Logi tab, which had like 4 1-pointers, but it's still pretty nice with the 1-pointers. So get that. You've seen this supply 1,000 times. Look at all the divisions. It's so many divisions that the thing's getting smaller so they can all fit. Yeah, so we've got that. That's probably worth bringing. And then the big truck. So this is 2,000 supply for 60 points. As you know, all supply, apart from the fobs and some wacky marine stuff, those big boats, has 6,000 supply in a card. But the point is that this is more cost effective, because for 2,000 supply, but you can sell them, right? For 2,000 supply, this would be 80. And for 2,000 supply, this is 60. So it's nice to have the mix. The thing is, if this dies, you lose 2,000 supply, or it gets captured or whatever. If this dies, you lose 1,000 supply. Usually there's a bigger difference, but... So we'll start with 2 cards of supply, which is the minimum, basically. If we've got loads of arty, we'll come back and add a third. God willing. So now we move into the Infantry tab. Oh, wait, hang on. I didn't... You've seen this before, it's in loads of divisions. This is a fob. Now we move into the Infantry tab. So, yeah, basically, if you're going to bring this, don't bring it, because this is the same price but is armoured and has more HP, right? And it's the same availability, and it's faster. The only difference is the stealth, but it's got more armour. It's even amphibious, right? Right, so moving into the Infantry tab, we've got the Reservist SGM. What the hell is that? So it's a 762. It's Reservist. There are... Right, so there are reservist MMGs and there are reservist MMGs, right? The issue, of course, is some of them are worse than others. So this one, the Maxim, has custom stats, which makes it way, way, way worse than all the other ones. And it looks like the SGM does not have the custom stats. So the SGM has like... 10% more accuracy. It's got like 2/3 more damage or something because of that accuracy difference. It's got almost twice the accuracy, right? For the same price. And it's like, yeah, but it only fires 5 bullets instead of 10. Yeah, but look at the reload time, so it doesn't even shoot as fast. The Maxim is just pants. Like, it should be like 7.5 points, but they only do it in terms of 5, so it's just, you just don't bring it. It only comes on 1 div. This isn't like that. This has more in common with the Reservist Amphi or something, which is, like, it's one of the best cards in the game, in my opinion. They don't do a whole lot of damage, but the point is, infantry can't... If the infantry's at max range and it's running towards you, that will stop it for 10 points, and it's 4 dudes for 10 points, so I really like it. I really like it. Can we fit it in here? I don't know, because we also have the Reservist Grenade Launcher. That's weird. So, Reservist Grenade Launcher means minus 5% accuracy over regular guys. You lose 1 availability, but it's 5 points cheaper. Accuracy doesn't matter as much for the grenade launchers, because the bullets explode, so you don't have to aim that good. So, this is probably worth bringing. We'll see, maybe it does matter a lot. So yeah, that's your first new unit. Well, this is new as well. But yeah, this is still a valid choice, because look, it's 1/3 the price, right? So if you had 3 of these, they would definitely beat 1 of these. This ignores cover when you're fighting at guys in buildings, but it doesn't tell you, but it ignores the cover, which means effectively it does twice as much damage against people in buildings, because the cover is 50%. So it's got a bit more range. Honestly, they're both good options. They're both good options. This is more I tank, but we've got plenty of tanky units down here, and this is more I kill, right? Then we've got Priz Pulmichiki. Look at this Giga Chad, dude. You got to zoom in on that guy's face. Look at him. Wow, Giga Chad. So it's reservist and militia. 7 dudes for 25 points. It's got 3 bad machine guns. It's the RP-46. I don't know if that gets custom stats as well, because it's a World War II thing. The big advantage is that you get the Reservist BMP-1, which sadly isn't that much cheaper than the regular BMP-1. Oh, it's 5 points less. Okay, I guess that makes sense. But the idea is that you would just get this for the IFV spam, and then that would go with your tanks. Because, like, that's 50 points. That's really kind of good, actually. So this unit is obviously just going to die to literally everything. But the point, and as will this in isolation, but the point is you've got tanks. We'll get to the tank tab. And the tanks are backed up by... Because the point of the ATGMs, even if they miss, they do a load of suppression. And this is like, it takes 2 hits to kill from most tank guns, right? At max range. And so the point is that if you're fighting with a bunch of tanks and you've got a bunch of IFVs with them, your tanks tend to beat the enemy tanks because the enemy tanks lose all their cohesion from the ATGMs. Even if they miss, they still do a bunch of suppression. The missile is slow and it's not going to hit anything, but I feel like that's a very good strategy for just overwhelming the opponent. Keep in mind you can buy 5 of these a minute. That's 10 units a minute for 250 points. So I think you need to bring that. Although there's more interesting options here. Wow, this is already better than the West German one. It's crazy. So, in just terms of interest, this is a cool CV because it's 3 per card with AT, 8 strength, so that's really nice to have. Probably wouldn't be bringing this, like, literally ever. You probably just want it in the truck for the speed. Well, yeah. Because the thing, the FV432 is basically this, but with smoke, although it's only got 1 armor, I suppose. Yeah, so this could be useful, but these slots are limited. Oh, well, yeah. These slots are limited. We'll see, we'll see. Reservisti BMP. Oh, hang on, so for 5 more points, you don't get the militia. And you get an RPG. Well, hang on, that's way, way better. That's way, way better. And it can be vetted. I think the Pulmachiki should probably be 20, right? Because they don't have the RPG, and they've got the militia trait, which makes them crap. Interesting. Interesting. So we definitely want these at 1 bet, and we might not even need these. But it is a very interesting strategy to have all these BMP ones. Hopefully we've got something to back them up. This unit is terrible. The Mosin has bespoke stats for a DMR. It's worse than regular DMRs, which is probably sensible. You can't vet it. The RPG's bad. It's got 2 more guys, but you'd much rather bring the one on the left, which also doesn't have the militia trait and can be vetted, and has a better RPG, right? And so, you know. So the one on the right, because these are in 157, nobody brings them. There should be 30 points, really. The transport options aren't great. Yeah. I guess I'll just get them in the car, because you can sell the car, you can't sell this. Although the idea is more meat for the machine, comrade. But this is 50 points and it's not like this. You can see how much worse this is than that, right? Because it's the same price. I mean, well, it is what it is, right? Probably get the truck so you can sell the truck. Unless you really do want to be the spam, but I mean this, yeah, I don't know. Well, we'll see. We'll see. It might actually be worth bringing it in there. But this will get there faster, and you can sell it and buy stuff that actually matters. I don't see the point in this CV at all. 40 points, nice RPG, but only 4 guys, whereas this is 50 for 8. Whereas RPG, reservist, but 3 availability, right? So I would just never bring this. Priz Saperzi. Whoa, that's an interesting unit. Oh, this is that. So it's 35 points for an 8 armor HMG, because it's a T55 with the flipping top taken off. I'm not sure, was all the armour in the top? Was the turret more armoured than the front of the vehicle? because the armor on the front armor is basically this arbitrary calculation between the hull and the top and the turret, and the arbitrary calculation is basically purposefully designed to make the British ones weaker. I know what I said. Anyway, so this is probably worth bringing just for the comrade. 8 armor's pretty tanky. You put it with your BMP-1s, I guess. I'm not sure how useful this unit's going to be itself. Double flamethrower is funny, especially because they'll both fire at once, I guess. And especially with the instructors, so they lose the militia, they lose the reservist, and they get upvetted by 1. That's cool. And this isn't reservist, right? So we'll probably bring those. Regular Saperi, probably wouldn't bother. Saperi RPO, I think you need to bring. Because, like, this has 2.4 second aim time. It would lose to Flash because the Flash would shoot first. So I think it's probably worth bringing the Saperi RPO. Probably bring it at 1 vet. Instructori. BMP-1 Unspeakable 1. It's got smoke. That's a useful part. BMP-2, of course, the Conquers. Super nice to have. The thing is, right, the Instructori, you probably want as many as possible. So they've got the phallus icon. What this does, which I've already explained, I suppose, is that it removes the reservist trait, it removes the militia trait, and it upvets by 1. But only for units in this tab. If you've got Recon Infantry, it doesn't work, right? It's not just infantry including Recon Infantry. It's literally just infantry in the infantry tab. So it'll only buff up infantry, no tanks, no IFVs, whatever. But look, I mean, you definitely need them for this, and it'll help with these other dudes as well, right? They're all reservists. And you might say, well, I don't have to upvet any of them. I still would upvet them, frankly. So you probably want at least 1 card of BMP2s, and I'll probably bring a card of BMP1s just so I can get as many of these guys out as possible, because every other unit needs them. Oh, although then now I've got a problem, haven't I? Which is that, do I need BMP2? Because I want... It's a shame these guys don't come in trucks, because I want them, right? Sadly, my best ATGM is an unspeakable one. This thing is pants, by the way, don't bother. It's just not good. I mean, there's no way to put it. The SPG-9 is the only infantry one of these worth bringing. And it's just literally just the one in 4th Machschützen. So I probably do need this. So what do I get rid of? I need my Instructori. Do I need my Reservisti? Do I need my Reservisti? I need my 6 Instructori for, 12 plus 20 plus 20 for 40. You see my point, right? Maybe I get rid of the Reservisti, but then I don't have any fast infantry with AT. Oh, we got some Reservistka in here. Yeah, okay, get rid of that. Get the unspeakable one. We'll see. We'll see what the other tabs bring, right? Yeah, this is cool, actually. This is actually cool. Anyway, artillery tab at 17. Right. This one goes 5,000 meters. It's some sort of new mortar. Although there is an M43 already in the game, but this is the reservist one. I don't think it makes it less accurate. It just... I'm not sure. It reduces the accuracy, but that's not how RT works. So it's just better. I mean, obviously it dies faster. So probably get that. 100mm. Whoa. Some sort of World War II thing. Sorry, I'm skipping ahead here, aren't I? So it's got AP, but no anti-infantry. 20k range ain't bad for 80 points, man. That's really not bad for 80 points. You get 4 of them. Because look, this is less. Sorry, the 120mm, I don't know if that's worth it really. Because these always die to counter battery. You got a funny new transport. That's in the SMO, that one. That's in the SMO. I remember seeing it. So you can roleplay. Probably simplest tactics, right, guys? Yeah, they all join hands and sing Kumbaya while they walk across the field. I mean, I saw it on the BBC, so that must be what they do, right? My enemy is simultaneously incompetent and incredibly scary, and we need to increase military spending. Anyway, No, you have to agree with me. So I like the range on this a lot. This, I mean, it's not got as good AP as the 152s, but it aims faster and it's got more range, which means the dispersion will be less, and I get twice as many for 5 points less. So I feel like I'm bringing this, right? I'm bringing the MTLB so I can move it around. Not that that makes too much of a difference because of the setup time and stuff, but this is only 12k range. So I guess the idea is that it's got one more availability and also it aims a bit faster. Blimey, you don't have good arty options here. And then the Grad. Oh, you get 2 cards of Grad. That's nice. Yeah, we'll bring the Grad. That means I need a 3rd card of supply now. Because this is also your counter battery. The Grad at 1 vet is your counter battery. You put the seat. You buy 2 of these at the start. They cap all the zones. One goes to the middle contested zone that you're fighting for, whatever. The other one you bring back for the arty, right? Or you put next to your AA or something. So now we need a 3rd card of supply. You can bring 2 cards of this one if you want, I mean, it just depends. If you're doing more arty, 2 cards of this makes more sense. If you're doing more frontline, 2 cards of this makes more sense. There's not that much difference between them, right? So, yeah. Right, now we move into the tank turn. Right, so this thing, you kind of need it, because even though it sucks, you need a kind of defensive ATGM, and I don't know, maybe some of these have ATGMs on them, but given that this is your ATGM, and this isn't very good either, but nice to have. I suppose the idea is you got a bunch of BMP1s you could use, but the point is this has good stealth. So, do we have BRDM2? We do, okay. Anyway, Reservist T55 AK. Probably don't want that given the other options on the table. Reservist T54B has the Dushka. So the point of this is that it's really bad against armor because this is heat. So the damage doesn't go up the closer you get, whereas on a kinetic it does. The advantage over the T55A... Right, so the T55A is better against armor, right? The advantage of the T54B, because it's kinetic, the T54B has an extra machine gun, which helps against infantry, but also it costs a lot less, right? So against infantry, it is better because of the cost efficiency issue. The extra PKT, it does help a little bit, but not that much. The T55A is generally cooler. Generally, people bring it at 2 vet but the T55A normal is 90 points, whereas this is 80, unless they changed it when I wasn't looking. So I can... let's check. No, it's still 90. And then this one, for some reason, costs 5 points more, even though Resolute is supposed to be free. That's cool. Look, well, there you go, yeah. I guess it's because it's got the rank of vet, and it's Resolute plus a rank of vet, so you pay 5 more points, depending on... I mean, this is new. Sorry, I just need to check this. No, it's still... No, I know, because it's got the same availability with Resolute and 1 vet for 5 more points. So that's how it works. Because if you look at... Because that's how the Marine formula works. So that's actually fine. I was just wrong. Because if you look Legionnaires... Well, they're a little bit different, actually, but... well, yeah, these are comparable, right? This one costs 5 points more for the vet and the Resolute, right? Whereas if it was one or the other, it wouldn't be 5 more points. It'd be the same. So, yeah. So yeah, this for only 80 is actually pretty good. We'll keep going. T62s. Generally, T62s are very underappreciated tanks. The ones in Don 100 are kind of hard to use. These ones seem pretty similar, sadly. So they've got low fire rate, and they're kind of slow. But they're cheap for what they do, so they're very good on the defense, where, chances are you'll shoot first because they're moving into you, right? And you being slow and not having smoke and stuff is not as important. You got a nice armor for the price, right? So they're good defensive tanks. On the offense, you get cremated. So people just use it like a regular tank, and they're like, it's bad, why doesn't it shoot faster? But it's good that there's a tank that doesn't shoot fast, otherwise all the tanks are the same. So So yeah, this is a CV version, okay. And this is oh, this is the one from Don 100, but this is reservist, so it's worse. Right, we need to do some serious. So this is the 6-7. Yes, so it is the one from Don 100, but it's reservist. So it's 5 points cheaper. But the T55A was 10 points cheaper. But should it have been? Has science gone too far? So, yeah, I mean, basically, it's 18 heat, so it one-shots 4 armor. The issue is it's got a 6 rate of fire and 40% accuracy, and it's reservist, so it's really not very good, and that's why it's so cheap. So, you see how it works, right? You don't just make every tank the same. You make some of them bad, and you make them cheaper if they're bad, right? This is the same thing as the Dom 100 one, but reservist again. I've got a guide out for Dom 100, right? So this is the kinetic one, which means that it's better at closer range, right? Because this will scale higher. So that's why it costs more. It also has a 50 cal on it, which makes it really good against infantry. So generally I buy most of these before I buy these in Dom 100. Next we have the 75. This is like the Dom 100 one again. But in this case, it's reservist again. So this one has more range. So basically it's an upgrade of the one we just saw. The pen is lower because pen goes up for kinetic projectiles by +1 for every 175 meters. Why it's 175? I don't know. Must be something to do with the French system. The metric system. So, which as a scientist, yeah. Anyway, so it's got more accuracy, right? Because it just does, but also it shoots further, so it's more accuracy. It's got one more side armor. 5 to 6 doesn't really help you that much, but I'm comparing it to the wrong one. So it is better, and you pay more for it because it's better, right? So we'll bring that. Then we get into the meat and potatoes, it seems. So this is a T64A OBR 83 Instructor. Okay, so this is the one. This is the nice tank, except this one is Instructor. So this is in 25th Soviet and 20th East German and 94 Soviet. And it is like the king of the close range I kill you tank, because it's got the minimum tank range, right? But it's got 20 pen, 10 rounds a minute, 16 armor. So it's super cool. And crucially, it's got the same armor as all of these reservist T62s, which go at the same speed. You don't understand how important this is, right? Because if one of them's faster and you queue, right, or this shoots from further away, it won't be in the range to buff all these up. So you want this, because the instructor trait will remove the reservist trait and buff it up by 1 rank of vet. At that point, you could be like, oh, I'll bring these at no vet. I don't really advise against. I don't really advise that because they're not very good. So yeah, we want this. We want this. Then we have the T72A OBR 81 Instructor, which I think is similar to T72s, which are already in the game. It's got that crucial 17 front armor, which means every AT plane in the game bar 2 doesn't one-shot it from the front. But if you're against a big brainy player, they'll just come at you from the side. But that exposes them more to the AA, and you've got more time to react. So, you know, there are trade-offs here. That's a nice tank. It is also Instructor. Yeah, not too much to say. I don't play with T72s that much. But there's definitely one in the game that's like this already, but this one is Instructor, so it buffs up. If 2 instructors are together, do they buff each other up? They probably do. But it's got more range, so it's a bit harder to use with all of these. It's basically like its own thing, right? Because these all have the same... Well, I suppose this has the same range, so you could use these with that. Oh, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, it's good on paper. Wow, that's a nice tank. So this is the one from 9th East German. So it's got 21 pen 2,800 meter range missile with 20 front armor plus the ERA. That is an insane tank. Is this the one from 2Y? It might be. We must compare. T72B. Yeah, it is. It's the one from 2Y. The one from Northeast German is a bit... Sorry. It's a bit different, I guess. Yeah, it's the one from 31Y, except that's got ERA for 10 points. And then... Oh no, but hang on, these don't have the ATGM. So this is basically its own thing. Yeah, because it's got +1 armor as well. And it's also got more pen on the gun. So it's got +2 armor. +2 side armor. More pen on the gun. Like, that's like one of the best tanks in the game. I'm really surprised by how cheap it is. Basically, the strat is you shoot with the gun, then you turn the gun off, and it immediately fires the missile because Warno is a very badly programmed game. And they just never bother fixing that. And then, after the missile hits and does mega damage, you switch the gun back on, fire 2 more, switch it off, fire the missile. And so the tank is actually crazy good. Obviously, in these big team games like Rocks 10v10, where it's just a big open field, this thing is practically unkillable because you just sit there, nobody can reach you on NATO. So, and if they can, you just tank the shot anyway because you've got infinite armor. So that is crazy good, and you get wow, you get so many cards. That's so crazy. I'm gonna play this div a lot. So maybe I brought too many tanks. Maybe science has gone too far because that is a lot of tanks. Like maybe I don't need this. Because I mean, how many tanks do you need, man? Do I need this one? The T55A. It's actually... So it fires a lot faster than the... The fire rate is basically... it's like 25% more. It's not a big deal. It matters a lot more than you might think. So, yeah, I think this would be one or the other, right? Well, I don't know. We'll see if we need the points. But yeah, I'd be more than happy to come back and maybe remove this one, the heat one, because it's like, oh, it's so funny, it one-shots 4 armor. It one-shots BMP2s, but what actually happens is it misses, and then you have to wait 10 seconds to shoot again. In the meantime, they hit you with the Conkers, and then your fire rate goes down even more, and your accuracy goes to 20%, and then you just never hit them. So it can be quite frustrating. Recon. But yeah, this is a fun div. They've cooked. So now we have the Pyramida 1. Very good optics but bad stealth. So it's a jammer, and they're given very good optics. It's got a flipping egg slicer on. Do you ever have that? When I was a kid, we had one of those. So you get a hard-boiled egg, and then you put it on this, and then there's another one that comes in with the wires. Well, actually, no, you put it on the floor here. So that's actually what it is. It is for making hard-boiled eggs. Sounds about right. So you put the egg here, and then this one crushes it, and then you get finely sliced hard-boiled eggs. Unfortunately, in the Soviet Union, they don't make them straight, so I don't know. So anyway, oh yeah, oh I'm jamming, oh I'm looking. The issue is the bad stealth. With it being a vehicle, you just immediately get spotted on the front line and blown up, so I really don't like these. I'd much prefer this, which also has very good optics, but good stealth, and you go around with the KPVTs. It's very fun, it's very fun. Razvedka. Seen these a million times, but they're now in a funny transport. They're in the SMO transport. So, yeah, cool. Mot Razvedka. Ah, this is where the magic happens. Sadly, you only ever seem to get one card of these. They're such a good unit. So this is a good unit. Good stealth, good optics, mediocre stealth. You know, it's basically this, but worse stealth and optics, but better armament. The real one you want is probably... So the Razvedka BMP2 used to be kind of the gold standard, but it's so expensive. The thing is, because of the way Recon works in this game, this thing can just sit there shooting its autocannon and its conkers at you, and you don't see it unless you have Recon, right? Like, you can be in the range of this, and it's just sat there hosing you. You don't shoot it back unless you have a Recon there. So, if it's in a forest, right? So that's the advantage. The advantage of this is that it's super cheap and good fun. The advantage of this is that you don't have airborne forward deployment, so the first guy on the field's going to be this lot, and so you probably want him to get there at 100 kilometers an hour so you can actually fight at the start. Because this will just get blown up immediately, right? So, as much as I want these, and they would be nice to have, we got enough BMP ones. They just don't have that because like you put this in a bush with the mediocre stealth, and people just can't deal with it. It's so funny. So if I got 2 cards of this, I'd be a happy bunny, but I don't. So it might be a case of bring this in the US for the early game. You know, at least I'm there with my 100. This is 90. It matters a lot, man. Especially if you're showing up with all this slow crap. You really want it to be... You don't want to be too far behind. I'd probably get rid of 1 card of these, actually, for 2 AP. But if I bring this, then I don't need this. So that's something. But then I don't get my BMP ones. Actual choices in my deck building. I like having lots of Recon Infantry. But now I don't need the BRDM2 because I've got the BTR80, which sort of does the same thing. It's not as good at it, but it does do it. PT76. These have mediocre stealth now on all of them, not just the Recon ones. In certain matchups, this is useful for like rush strats. So if you're playing against airborne, this is good because they send the SPG9s, or they send the BRDM2s down every road, or the SPG9s or whatever. You send these down every road, and you outrange them by like a good 500 meters. You need this so that your tanks can actually see something. And then I might just bring this anyway. Because I don't have a Recon helo, which is a pretty big issue. In fact, I don't have any helos. That is a problem. But yeah, I like sending these around the side and being a silly Billy. Anyway, we switch to the AA. People get very upset. They get very upset, and they hold long-standing vendettas against me because I sniped their arty and laughed at them in a video. I guess I shouldn't laugh. So Reservist Strela 2M. This guy must have been alive when the Strela 2M was invented. I guess it's not that outlandish, really, given... yeah, very bad accuracy. So you vet it, and it's still not great. I got some interesting options here. So for starters, let's go through it in order. This is great for holding ground. Somebody walks into you, they just die. Thing is, you've got the grenade launchers and you've got like infinite infantry, so you don't really need things that hold ground. I'm sure you'll have, you know, one of these to chuck at them or whatever. So, you know, plenty of cheap stuff to hold ground, so probably don't need that. It's nice to have, but... And this is the same but bigger, so you pay more. To be honest, this is better now. It used to be that this was worse, but given that they have the same accuracy and roughly the same availability, 20% is gold standard. It fires way faster, it aims way faster, so this used to be the gold standard, and it got nerfed, but then this thing got buffed, so... Because it goes further against helos, it does more HE, it aims faster, it reloads at the same rate. You know, it's just better, basically. Only 5 points more. It also runs out of ammo slower, because the rate of fire is consumption per minute, so the ZU-23 can only fire for 1 minute. The S-60 can fire for almost, you know, more than 3, basically. So this is the one you want to bring now. It is what it is. I mean, obviously this should be 5 points more, really, but whatever. The same, but on a car, right? On a slow car. I don't know about that. The same, but on a car. So it's the same story. You'd want this one. You'd want this one. That's pretty funny. Yeah, you would just want these now instead of this, essentially every time. It's sad, but it is what it is. You gotta keep up with the meta, bro. And then this is if you actually want to kill a helicopter, right? Because it shoots a lot. Well, actually... It actually aims slower. The thing is, it's faster. The point of the Strela 1 is that it can keep up with this little bad boy while you're zooming around the sides and being a funny gamer. But no, I think you should bring this. I think you should bring this at 1 bet. You could probably bring this if you want. What is this? Oh, okay, it's a ZU-23, but now it's got 6 armor. That's funny. That's pretty funny. Won't help you against the Apache, but the idea is this can go with your tank blob, and the helos will outrange you, but usually, you just run at them or whatever. And you've got this one anyway. It's a shame they didn't put a... Because it's a BTS, which is basically like a South Korean pop band, but they all got conscripted or something. Anyway, it's a T-55 hull with a flipping ZU-23. Why didn't they put an S-60 on it? What's wrong with them? I think the Cubans have that, don't they, in the upcoming DLC? Who knows? I might be making that up. So you probably want that, because it's funny. And it's like ultimate anti-infantry machine because of the 50 cal. It is pretty funny how the 50 cal shoots further than the ZU, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. And then this, which is anti-plane, but it's the North Korean one. It's the Pongyong. It's a North Korean one, so it's not the Never M or whatever. It's the Never. So it's only got two. I think the other one's just called Never as well. You definitely want this because it's your anti-plane. You want to kill the planes, right? Surely. So the only question is, do you want this as well? Probably don't need it. It's like, oh, this is slightly further behind my BRDM too. Well, just slow down. Ooh, so funny. Right, now it's time for the heli tab. There is no heli tab. Did I thank the generous channel? Right, now it's time for the air tab. Wow. Oh. Sorry. So these are supposed to be the underpowered Su-24s. So naturally they've only got 10% less ECM. Honestly, the Industrial Revolution and its consequences have been a disaster. Anyway, it's just certain people have a serious hard-on for the Soviet Air Force. It's crazy how they were just so good. They were just so good that they invented the glide bomb like last year. Anyway, no, they actually had it before. They had 3 of them. Yes, okay. This is very, very good. Start with this one. So there's an issue. I don't know if they fixed it yet. They might have fixed it in this patch. We do keep complaining about this. A lot of these missiles don't actually launch at the max range, and that is very annoying. The fact that you only get 2 in this is really bad, actually, because all the other ones that have this range missile with this accuracy, you get 3 on the card. So that's a shame, because the idea is you launch this, and then you chip, as they say, and but yeah, only one of the ones in 4th East German works. The other one doesn't actually fire from its max range. So just keep that in mind before you bring it, right? That it might be bugged and it might not fire from the max range. The Buccaneer doesn't either, but maybe they fixed it. This is super good and can kill tanks. Obviously the range is a lot less, but it hoses infantry. The salvo length is 6, so it'll fire all of them at once, but it's got very low reload time. You definitely want this. SC-24 cluster. 3-minute reload, but presumably it drops from... Because it doesn't tell you the altitudes or anything, so you just have to play and figure it out. I probably should have tested it before I made the video, but I'm not very good at this. Not enough channel joiners. So the one in like 79Y is basically unkillable, for depending on the matchup, because it unloads right at the edge of their AA range, and then you evac with 30% ECM. So this might be like that. And this is probably the same, but with Hippie. So you probably want all of those. I mean, I guess they just kind of gave up when it came to doing the pictures. I mean, it is sort of holiday time, but, like, I can't tell the difference, bro. They all look the same. Then you've got the seed. Oh, that's a nice seed missile. Wow, this air tab's really good. So we want that. And now we've run out of points, so we go back to the tanks, and we probably get rid of this. And we probably get rid of one of the cheap ones as well. So between these two, I'm going to get rid of this one, because it's super hard to use. Because of the rate of fire. Right, it's, oh, 2 more pen, 2 more pen, 2 more pen. Yeah. No, listen. Get that monkey brain out. Oh, yeah, I see the big icon. No, it's this one down here. It's the rate of fire, mate. It's the rate of fire. So, yeah, just get rid of that. And now we bring... one more plane. Then we have the Mary Sue. I think that's a very good moniker for the Soviet Air Force in this game. Yes, bro, we're just so good. We're just so good. Just so good. Yeah. They should basically all have a rank vet lower than all the NATO planes because of how little time they got to train, but these ones actually have a rank higher. So these ASFs are cracked because they actually have effectively like 10% more ECM because of the vet. Because it gives you evasive maneuvers, which is calculated differently to ECM, so it's like more than 10% ECM. So it is. I think it's good that it's in the game and it exists like that. I'm just sort of complaining because I like to do that. So you can have this. This is probably good to bring, and it'll have effectively 30% ECM. But then this is the other Mary Sue, and that one's even better. It's got those funny missiles that all fire. Oh, it's a 2 2 second reload time on this instead of one. High off ball sight, whatever. Very nice plane because it'll get 2 of these off before the merge, even though the range is lower because it's firing spaghetti. It fires faster because it doesn't. It starts reloading as soon as it shoots, as opposed to waiting for it to hit like this one would. I don't know actually if this will start reloading while it's in the air, but it won't fire another one until this is hit. So this does fire faster. So it is better, and I should bring it, but I don't have the points. So what do I kill? Oh, those are 1-pointers. Get rid of my grad. Oh, we might have to get rid of some infantry. We do have a lot of infantry. Don't really... I mean, do I need this? How does it help me? Sometimes you need it, man. You're just in a town and you wish you had it. But I've got so many cheap ATGMs all over the place, and this doesn't have very high pen anyway, so maybe I could do without it, save 3 AP, and bring the Mary Sue. Wow, this is a fun div. I can't wait to play it. I'm gonna see if I can rope somebody into it. And then this is a 1-pointer. But I need my 3 card. Oh, how many CVs do I have? 2. Okay. Oh, we might have to get rid of some instructories. But then all my guys are never going to have instructories. So should I get rid of the BMP too? Is bringing both of these a good idea? Yeah, I kind of need them. If I get rid of one of these, then I can bring more CVs, but I need the 3 per card one, right? So what do I get rid of? What do I get rid of? What do I get rid of? Help me. Might get rid of this BMP2 card, because I don't use them, honestly. It's more of like a late game thing, and I've got enough BMP1s that you just sort of... The point of the ATGM isn't the damage, right? It's the suppression, so... Get rid of that, and then we get 3 of these, bring it in the... Oh, these are the 40 pointers, so just get it in the truck. And then I've got 5 CVs, which is a bit on the low side. I could swap out some more of these crap tanks to bring 2 more CVs or whatever. But yeah, in summary, this div seems really fun. It's kind of high level in that... I mean, if you're playing a team game, okay, you just buy them all and just lane brain and you've got the AA behind, right? But if you're in a 1v1, basically people are going to go around the sides and you're not going to have helicopters. So if the enemy does an armoured breakthrough, you can't support it. You can't just put an ATGM helo at the back, a bit back bop, right? You can't do that. So something like this, you'd have it in a bunch of pre-prepared positions. But yeah, I think generally you're going to be the one attacking. And getting flanked isn't going to be too bad. But not having any helos is a big downside. In terms of having 1 AP spare, I don't really care. But basically what you would do is probably get rid of the grad. But the thing is, I need the grad to soften them up for my big wave. If you're playing surrounded duel, you're probably going to win if you're playing this div, because, like, you know, it's just this in the mid with the long range AA, with the grad, with the planes. Bam. So yeah, this looks really fun. I'm going to go rope somebody into playing it. If you want to see the VTK42, check the description. If you want to see gameplay, check the description. Thank you to the generous channel joiners for making all this possible. Have a lovely day. Wow, I messed that up.